when you're buying an RV, just be aware that there is the ideal versus the reality. And I think this applies not only to the, you know, Tiffin Wayfarer, which I'm sitting in right now, which is brand new to us for 5 days, 2023 Tiffin Wayfarer. But I think it's more of an industry-wide issue. We had an Airstream from 2020, brand new off the lot, 2016 Basecamp X. After the first trip, the thing was just absolutely falling apart, and we struggled with warranty issues and problems with that as well. I've read through forums and talked to friends, personal friends that own Winnebago Views or the Jaycos, or I think you call it a Tasca, and they experience a lot of the same problems and the same issues. I think the point is there's an ideal versus a reality, and you need to sort of, if you make the decision that, gosh, I really like to do this, I think you just go into it with eyes wide open, and you make sure that, you know, when the sales guy sells you the ideal, that you try to look past that, do some of your own research, and get everything in writing. Oh, we'll fix this, we'll fix that. Yep, bring it back, we'll do this, we'll do that. Your sales guy's going to tell you what he needs to tell you to close the deal. But you got to get it in writing, because when you start talking to, in our case, Tiffin about this, you know, they're not going to cash the checks that the sales guy wrote for you. Neither, in many cases, is the service department, because that's going to be a totally different department at the dealership. If you're at a small dealership, maybe not, but at a larger dealership, you know, there's a lot of folks working there, and yeah, the reality is what the sales guy promises. If you want them to deliver on that and you think there's some question about it, get it in writing. I'll give you one example. When we bought this, the sales guy is, hey, this is the best thing in the world, super high quality Mercedes chassis up front. You know, Tiffin Wayfarer is premium quality all the way back. They're known for their cabinetry shop. This is a high quality piece of equipment. You show up to do the financing, and the finance person's like, here's $14,000 worth of warranties, extended warranties we want to roll into your financing. To say, like, if this goes wrong, if that goes wrong, you know, you're covered. Make it carefree. So, you know, one person is saying, best thing since sliced bread. And you get to the next person who's getting you to sign on the bottom line, and they're like, yeah, we really think that, you know, you ought to buy $15,000 worth of warranties. In particular, we were pitched a decal warranty for $1,000. So we'll cover you for 5 years, and we'll roll that into the financing. It only adds a couple of extra dollars a month. I mean, if you do the math, 5 years worth of interest payments, I mean, that's a lot. It's a tremendous amount of money. That's a good margin for them. But at the end of the day, they're just selling you a sticker warranty. So here's the highest quality thing in the world, but we think you ought to buy a sticker warranty. And when you're in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, let's make this hassle-free. But if you just step back and think about it for a moment, it's just really kind of funny. Now, don't get me wrong, we had a great time on our first trip. I know we're going to have a lot of you know, fun adventures in this as a family. I'm not specifically picking on Tiffin Wayfarer here, but there's two things. One, I hope if you're planning to buy one, go into it with eyes wide open. Be prepared to, you know, go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and maybe put a little bit of your own elbow grease into fixing up this and that and the other thing here or there. So I don't want to turn you off to buying an RV, but, like, look, here's the reality. And most of the videos you're going to see online, like for us, are the sales guy or the sales gal just saying, you know, selling you the dream. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of spin on some of the realities. Secondly, if, you know, you're in the front office or quality control at Airstream, Wayfarer, wherever you happen to be, you know, maybe you take a look at this and make some changes to quality control there at the factory, because from my point of view, there seems to be a bit of a gap in the industry here, where maybe if somebody steps in and actually delivers what they say they're going to deliver on quality, you might have a chance to steal some market share away from some other folks. Now, Thor, I think, owns damn near everybody at this point. But hey, there's an outlier out there somewhere. and there's definitely an opportunity. So those are the two things I hope happens with this reality versus the ideal playlist. With that, I'll get started on some videos.